Hey, what's up, everybody, man? So I wanted to come here and I wanted to give you all 5 quarterbacks that are under the most pressure going into next season. Starting with number 1, Deshaun Watson. And this is coming from a Browns fan. All bias aside, Deshaun Watson may be under the most pressure out of all quarterbacks on this list simply because Deshaun Watson, whether people want to admit it or not, has underachieved. He's underperformed, bro. Plain and simple. He is nowhere near the quarterback that he was when he was in Houston. Nowhere near it. Deshaun Watson, we risked a lot trading for Deshaun Watson. We gave him a lot of draft capital. We gave him a fully guaranteed contract for no reason. So we gave him a fully guaranteed contract. And on top of that, we took along all the allegations that came with him. We took on the suspension that was going to come with him, and which he did serve. We risked a lot to get Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson, his first year here after serving his 12-game suspension, he did not look the best. But nobody really expected him to suit up and just play lights out, considering that he missed almost 2 seasons before he even was traded to us, you know? So people cut him a lot of slack, including myself, and we said, you know what? We gonna let him get a full offseason under his belt, and he gonna come out on fire. That's what the whole fan base did. I'm speaking for the fan base. That is what we believed. Deshaun went out there, and he still was not looking like the guy that we traded for. Don't get me wrong. Despite the injuries that he battled, he did have some good games. He had some good moments, some good throws, and I honestly personally believe that he was actually starting to heat up. But he ended up getting hurt for the rest of the season. That's really what I personally believe. But hey, all I can say is technically he did underperform. And when you take in consideration that Joe Flacco came off his couch at 38, 39 years old and was going out there throwing for 300 yards, multiple touchdowns, we just seeing the ball flying all over the field and all, you know? Considering that we seen that out of Joe Flacco, and Joe Flacco was able to help us get to the playoffs despite his terrible performance in that second half of that playoff game, fans in Cleveland are going to use that against Deshaun Watson when evaluating him. They're going to remember, hey, Joe Flacco ain't had no problem in this offense. Hey, Joe Flacco was throwing for 300 yards. Hey, Joe Flacco got us to the playoffs. You feel me? That didn't make anything better for Deshaun Watson. So that makes it even more pressure because this is a team, a fan base that has not had much success. Let's keep it real. We don't be seeing the playoffs. We have no Super Bowls in the Super Bowl era. You feel me? So, of course, when you see a guy, Joe Flacco, sit off the couch, get us to the playoffs, there's going to be high, and I mean high, expectations for Deshaun Watson going into this season. He better go out there and be ready because he don't want to get on this team's bad side. He don't want to get on this fan base's bad side. Trust me. If he don't go out there and play like he did in Houston, there's going to be some real problems and some real questions that will need to be answered in Cleveland. Trust me, I know I've seen it too many times. Next, we got Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, no matter what people say about Dak, I will come here and say that Dak is a good quarterback. Dak Prescott is a starting quarterback in this league. No matter what the media says, no matter what Stephen A says, Dak Prescott is not a bum. The problem with Dak Prescott is Dak Prescott did have an issue turning that ball over. He cut down the turnovers last year and he had a great regular season. I think he was an MVP candidate. Let's just keep it 100. The problem with Dak is Dak and the Cowboys don't show up in big games. And they definitely fold in the playoffs every single year. Dak Prescott, considering the talent they had on defense, the success they had on offense, the success Dak was having, and the fact that they actually was performing at home like it was nothing, to see them get eliminated first round at home was insane and it was unacceptable. And this is why Dak Prescott is in trouble right now. Trust me, he's making a lot of bread. This is part of the reason why they can't make a lot of moves they want to make. And trust me, Jerry Jones, they made a good point. He's only getting older. He's trying to win another one. They not about to keep playing with Dak. Dak will have no issue getting a starting job somewhere else, but this could very much be his last year with the Cowboys if he don't at least go out there, have a good season, and make a deep enough playoff run for them to stick by him. So yeah, Dak, it don't even matter what you do in the regular season. You need to perform in them offs. Plain and simple. Next, we got Derek Carr. Derek Carr, even though their defense did have a drop-off last year, he had a supporting cast on defense. He had Mike Thomas. Even though Mike Thomas did deal with some injuries, but he had Mike Thomas at first. He had Chris Olave. He had Taysom Hill at tight end, and the other dude at tight end, solid options. You got Alvin Kamara, Jamal Williams out the backfield. You feel me? The Saints shouldn't have been as bad as they were. The Saints shouldn't have been as bad as they were. Or let's just say, fuck the Saints. Derek Carr shouldn't have been as bad as he was. Derek Carr was awful last year. And it's crazy because Derek Carr fooled me. I thought that Derek Carr was an average quarterback from the jump. I thought he was a middle-of-the-pack guy. He had that one good year in Oakland. And for some reason, I thought he arrived. And I hate when I get fooled by these players because a lot of players don't be like that. But he fooled me. He ended up getting that paycheck. Had a regressed year in Oakland. They benched him and they traded him to the Saints. And in the Saints, he ain't making no noise. So trust me, the Saints not about to play these games. The Saints has been getting held back at quarterback for a few years now, especially since Drew Brees is no longer there. And especially since Drew Brees was, when he was playing, the last few years, Drew Brees was done. Drew Brees was cooked. So yeah, they're not about to play around with Derek Carr. Derek Carr better go out there and get it together. Because if he don't, he will not be on that team no more. More than likely, he will not be on that team no more. It's not worth it. Next, we got Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, the amount of pressure he's under is probably just as much as Deshaun Watson. Because let's be real, I know my team. I know my city. I know Deshaun Watson not going to go out there and just have an awful year. He'll have an average year at best. He still going to have his job. Daniel Jones, though? Daniel Jones, if he don't play good at all or good enough, he's done. They already paid Daniel Jones this money, and they did a good job with his money because people said he's overpaid. Guess what? It was all about the way they structured his contract. He's not seeing that money. The money that they paid him, like as far as the money, when you're not factoring in the guarantees, he's not seeing all that money. He's only seeing the guarantees, and his guarantees is less than 50% of the full deal. You know, so they made a good decision with his contract. But Daniel Jones, man, he's going to like year 6. He's not proven in this league, and it's sad. He's not proven in this league as a quarterback. He's not proven as a passer. He still be turning the ball over. All he could do is run consistently. He had a better year before he got paid. That's when Brian DeBall first came there. But man, last year he was dealing with injuries, and before he went down, he wasn't playing the best anyway. Daniel Jones, he ain't got no room to play. He need to get it together or he done. And that's pretty much it to Daniel Jones. We all know this about Daniel Jones. We ain't got to keep talking about it. And then last but not least, we got Bryce Young. The reason why Bryce Young is under so much pressure, and it's not a crazy amount, but he's under pressure because you know how it is when you're a top quarterback and you're picked in your class. If you're not producing and not showing enough promise, it begins to be a red flag. Last year, he gets spared by default because it's his first year. He's getting his feet wet. And you can argue that, you know, he just had a bad team. He didn't have the necessary weapons he needed, especially in the backfield. Bad coaching, bad defense. Carolina overall was a bad team. They were not a good team, you know? So, considering that, we expect Bryce Young to go out there and actually have an improved year this year. If Bryce Young don't have an improved year this year, there will be real questions for the Carolina Panthers. And they're going to have to make a decision depending on how stinky he is, as if they want to draft another quarterback or they want to keep rolling with him. More than likely, they go give him another third year. But You know how it is with young quarterbacks, man. He can't afford to have 2 iffy years back to back. That's just something he can't do. I personally believe in Bryce Young, though. I think Bryce Young, from the film I saw in the beginning of the season, he looked like a quarterback that was poised, made very smart decisions. He appeared to be accurate, had a smart arm. A big arm, and he was able to, extend plays, and he even could scramble a little bit. But the problem is, he also was turning that rock over as the season went on. He was making bad decisions. He wasn't as smart as the season went on, along with the team just not being good. So I believe in Bryce Young, but trust me, if he have another year like he did last year, or just not a significant enough improvement, there will be questions about the quarterback position in Carolina. So yeah, these are 5 quarterbacks that are under pressure, the most pressure I feel this upcoming season. An honorable mention, you can say Russell Wilson, but I don't think people care that much, But let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe, and I got more content coming soon.